Greetings, adventurers of the realm. Welcome back to another Yes. Welcome back to another monster conversion stream here on Swordplay and Sorcery. Whoop whoop! We had to push back the stream a little bit, very last minute, because I was still out. We have some family in town, and so we spent some time with family outside in the city and everything, exploring beautiful Texas. So I did that. So I figured I'll push the stream a little bit. Not reschedule, just push it back a tiny bit. But how are we doing? Who all do we have here? Let's see. Andrew Tucker, howdy. Let's go. Let's go. Conkus Bonkus took you long enough. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Maxim, hey mate, gonna go sleeping. We'll check out the stream later. Absolutely loved your insights from last week. Can't wait to see if you have any insights when you watch the VOD. If you do, please comment on the video. I would love to hear what you have to say. Aegis is here. Dragon time. That's right. See you, Maxim. Oh no, you weren't gonna miss this. How you doing? And then we got Ryan. It does make it difficult to stream if you aren't there. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh man. But how are you guys doing? How are y'all? I'm feeling pretty good. This past weekend wife and I took a trip to Georgia for a family wedding, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a really great recharge. Just kind of going back to what used to be home and everything, but it was also a little sad because the hurricane absolutely went through where we were going in Georgia, and it sucked seeing how much got destroyed there, and then it not being covered anywhere was like, that's awesome. But destruction aside, it was really good to see family. It was really good to see friends. And we've come back this weekend to some more craziness. So at my job, we have a bunch of the OneShot Questers team. They actually flew in today. They're celebrating tonight. And then tomorrow we hit the ground running. We have so many things planned for this weekend that we're going to film with them. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be super exciting. I thought I was going to miss this. Nope. Not at all. Great here. Hope you're well. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I want you all to know that in addition to being back for, how long have I been back? 2 days? Something like, yeah, I think 2 days. Yeah, I've been back for 2 days. 3 scripts. I wrote 3 scripts. So the plan is to shoot those probably Sunday. It's probably gonna have to be Sunday or Monday. And then try to figure out what day of the week to release videos. I used to do them on Mondays. Maybe it'll just resume on Mondays. But it's gonna be more of the DC20 series, because I keep getting a lot of direct messages. Really, really kind messages saying how helpful they are, that they have fun with the editing style and the graphics. So it feels a little weird to leave a series unfinished. So I'm going to work on that. Again, it's not going to be the main focus. The main focus is working on the DC20 actual play. Oh, wait, did I just say DC20 actual play? It's been a while since we've done that. If you don't know, working on a DC20 actual play, trying some interesting things with it. Maybe they'll work, maybe they won't. but it's kind of my current creative passion project. Just getting some really close friends together, playing DC20 and seeing what we can make out of it. And then once that project is done, we see what else we can do with DC20. I know I would really like to do DC20 live streams. I would love to do more DC20 live streams. Which, speaking of, if you aren't already subscribed, here, come here. If you aren't already subscribed, Avenue Studios, they're the channel you gotta subscribe to. Why is that? 1, because they're awesome. 2, they have great campaigns on their channel. And 3, they're doing a DC20 OneShot with DC20 creators on Halloween. And I get to be part of that, which is really cool. I'm very excited. I did not send them the character concept. Oops. I'm gonna do that after the stream, get all that typed out. I meant to do that. I got so distracted. But yeah, we're gonna be having a Halloween DC20 OneShot. And it's exciting. It's cool. I get to be part of a TTRPG community that's not Dungeons and Dragons, which is interesting. I like it. It's fun. Oh, can't wait to see what comes from the weekend excitement. I'm excited. And I will definitely leave a comment about my thoughts on Tiamat. Thank goodness. I love reading your insights. You have some really bold ideas, which is what I appreciate. Vien, what's up? I did hear them mention your name last live stream. Oh, I missed their last live stream. That was sweet of them. That was so sweet. Yeah. Go subscribe. Whoa, it focused on my finger. The camera's... God, I love Sony cameras. Sorry, nerding out. Anyways, you're not here to see me nerd out about this. You're here to see me try and convert Dungeons and Dragons, one of their probably the most famous villain aside from Vecna, Tiamat, the Dragon Queen, creator of the first world, things like that. Last week we kind of got the basics down. Back when we get the draft pulled up. So we got the top part of the stat block sheet, right? So we had the name, how much health points, the physical defense, mystical defense, resistances, vulnerabilities, all of that kind of stuff. And then the bulk of the stream was done in the features. How do we codify Tiamat's features into DC20? Does it make sense? So the first thing that we're going to be doing in this stream is going through what we already have in the stat block, making sure there aren't any oversights from last stream. And then once we've done that, we're going to dive into actions and Apex features. So it should be good stuff. It should be good stuff. Let's go ahead and switch over to that screen, shall we? All right. This is our Tiamat so far. Tiamat is a gargantuan dragon, level 10 bruiser, and rank is a boss. We have 60 health points for her, a physical defense of 22 and a mystical defense of 19. No physical damage resistance, but 2 points of mystical damage resistance. We have a might of 10, agility of 0, charisma of 9, and intelligence of 0, or of 8. Oh, I did not put the saves back in. I don't remember what the saves were. It's a good thing we're re-going through the stat block just to make sure we didn't miss anything. Did you hear Dungeon Coach reveal that Fighter and Ranger are renamed to Champion and Hunter? Yeah. I heard that a few days ago. Because I support the Dungeon Coach on Patreon, so we get some updates and some exclusive live streams about about working on the classes and the subclasses and things like that. And yeah, I missed hearing about Fighter being renamed to Champion, but Ranger being named Hunter, I mostly agree with. being called Ranger implies a certain kind of fantasy, which kind of feels like no one can agree on what that fantasy is. And I don't even 100% agree with the DC20 Ranger, right? It is my favorite Ranger of TTRPGs, though. However, it being named Hunter has different implications with the name, right? And I think with the way that the Ranger, now known as Hunter in DC20, with the way that that class works and functions, Hunter is appropriate. Hunter is appropriate. It fits the fantasy that's currently codified in the game. I'm happy with it. And I also think it helps get rid of the unfortunate tainting that Ranger has done in the new Dungeons & Dragons 2024 rules. Because that's abysmal. That's abysmal. You can call me crybaby. You can say, but it is better than 2014. And you're right. It is. And then you compare it to the rest of the classes. And we're back at square one. And somehow worse. So, I'm happy that it was renamed to Hunter. As for Fighter being renamed to Champion, sure. I don't know that it needed to be changed, but sure. Changing the names is a smart move. The name is always going to be up for debate. Yeah, I think so. I guess Hunter opens it for Rangers, Bounty Hunters, and Monster Hunters. Yeah, I think so. I will say my one complaint with it in DC20 is the favorite terrain, which I want to start by saying is absolutely better than it is in Dungeons and Dragons, than it ever was. But the Hunter is your outdoor person. It's your exploration person. They should just have access to that list, right? You have spellcasters who have access to all magics, all spell lists, right? Let the Hunter be the expert in all things terrain, right? And whenever they're in that terrain, they get that kind of passive benefit. That's my take, though. That's the house rule that we have at my table in my home game, and we haven't run into an issue yet with it. But again, that's our home rule. I think of World of Warcraft with Hunter. Oh, I wonder if my wife thinks the same thing. She's a very big WoW player, so probably. Good evening, all. Descrom, what's up? How you doing? We were just talking about the name changes for the Fighter and Ranger, now known as the Champion and the Hunter. Welcome. Welcome. Let's go back to Tiamat. All right. I can close the Tiamat settings. All right. So we got, for resistances, we have physical, half, blinded, immune, deafened, immune, poisoned, immune, elemental, half, charmed, immune, frightened, immune, stunned, immune. And for vulnerabilities, mystical, double. For skills, we have Arcana 14, Awareness 11, and Religion 14. And then for our senses, we have Dark Vision 48 spaces, True Sight 24 spaces, Passive Awareness 19 spaces. And for languages, we have Draconic and Fiend. Hiya! I like the name changes. I've been watching Hobbit all day. Ooh, the Peter Jackson Hobbit movies? I could go into a whole rant about the Peter Jackson Hobbit movies. In fact, we'll pause for a second. The Peter Jackson Hobbit movies. I love the first one so much. I think it is a fairly great, pretty great representation of the book. I used to think that The Desolation of the Smog was best out of the trilogy, and the more I rewatch it, the more I hate it, the more I loathe it. I remember when I was in high school, they were filming these movies, and Peter Jackson was releasing his production diaries about the making of the movie, right? And it was right before the first movie was about to release. And Peter Jackson was like, you know, there's just so much to do and so much of this grand tale within The Hobbit that we've decided to make it into 3 movies. So we're going to be writing some extra scenes, planning some more shoots. And I was like, for The Hobbit? Okay. Sure. And, they're movies. But I love the first one. I love the first one. I think the Hunter get to pick 2 terrain at start and more in future levels as you progress. Since at level 1, you aren't a high-level ranger. Just a guess. That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, I like them. Every rewatch, I enjoy them more and more. I wish I could. I always forget the 3rd movie. The 2nd movie, I find more things that I dislike about it, which kind of ruins it for me because I really loved it when it first came out. And then the first one, I love more and more with each rewatch. Didn't need to be 3 movies. Well, it wasn't going to be originally. It was going to be directed by Guillermo del Toro, which would have been super great, super awesome. It was going to be 1 movie, but that eventually fell through. And then they brought on Peter Jackson because they wanted it to be more like the old Lord of the Rings movies. And dude basically had like 6 to 8 months, I believe, to put together something because all of these studios, there's like 5 or 6 studios were like, hey, we need this Hobbit movies. There's a creator on YouTube called Lindsay Ellis, and she has a wonderful video series about the production of The Hobbit from the start of production to the release of production and the aftermath of production. And it's fantastic. If you love really long video essays, give those a watch. Her name's Lindsay Ellis. They are awesome. The 3rd movie is just all war, like how some anime will do a season of battle. Essentially, it makes me sad GDT didn't direct. Yes, I love his style. Yes. And I think from his version of The Hobbit, we only have like 2 pre-production photos of vaguely what his version of The Hobbit would have looked like, which his was going to be more like a kids movie. Kind of like a little bit of a darker kids movie, but still a kids movie. Which is what the book is. The book is a children's book, which I think would have fit the Hobbit story a little better. But again, I think Peter Jackson absolutely killed it with The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, and then it just really started going downhill with expanding on unnecessary plots, introducing love triangles into the story. It was weird. He should have told them to pound sand and let him make it how he wanted to make it. What are we talking about? Oh, Peter Jackson. How you doing, Maddie Holmes? Good to have you here. Oh, man. Man, y'all are going to get me ranting about movies. I love movies. Movies are my love language, okay? I could do a whole stream where we just talk about movies. But anyways, Tiamat. Let's get back to Tiamat before I get way too passionately into this conversation. All right, so let's go over the features. What we're going to do is we're going to look over these features, just double check, make sure we're all good, and then we're going to move on to figuring out what the actions would. You know what I mean. Do it. I worked in a video store for 5 years. Let me go back to the screen. You worked in a video store for 5 years. I wish video stores were still a thing. I can 100% derail this into a movie stream. Do we need to start making this a thing? Doing movie streams? I watch movies all the time. It could literally be like a book club. Yo, what if we had a book club, but it's a movie club? And then we just have a stream where we talk about said movie. I would do that. I'd 100% do that. We should do that in the server. We should do that in the Discord server. We can absolutely do that. And not a blockbuster. Oh, wait. Not a blockbuster. What are the other ones? The Hollywood... What's the Hollywood one? Is it called Hollywood Video? Maybe that? The more headlines I see about Ballerina, the more worried about it I get. Ballerina. Oh, the new John Wick spinoff? I don't think I've watched the trailer for it. Yeah, I missed that trailer. I joined a movie club. This is what community nights are for, buddy. Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Once Coach releases the Dragon stats, you can revisit Tiamat and see what could be tweaked. That's what I would love to do. That's what I'd love to do 100%. Because that would really inform what a Dragon Queen would look like in the context of DC20. I worked in a video update that got bought out by Movie Gallery. Movie Gallery, okay. I worked in a movie theater. And it was a blast. There was a lot of troubles with one of the theaters I worked at for a little bit there because we transitioned from the traditional family movie theater with the stadium seating and the concession stand, and then we remodeled the entire theater to be like a modern movie theater. So we had the recliners, the select seating, the self-serve drink towers, the self-serve icy towers, self-serve butter. That was a very hard transition. Very hard transition. What do you consider your best worst movie? My best worst movie? Or like what I think is the best worst movie? Best of the worst, like Red Letter Media? Shoot. If we're talking about movies in general, best worst movie, I mean, the classic response is to go with The Room, because that's just so much fun to watch. Here, I'll give you two answers, and then we'll move on to Tiamat. So the first one that I would say is the best worst movie. I have a lot of really close friends, and we used to have these things called wheel nights, where everyone would show up. It started off as a bad movie night, and in the origins of the bad movie night, we would show up with two movies that we were deeming like bad. We'd put them on a random wheels generator online, spin it, and whatever the two movies were, that was the double feature for the night. And early in that tradition, we started off with Asylum movies made by a studio called Asylum. Honestly, any movie from that is probably on my list. So, and they're always knockoff movies, right? So we have Atlantic Rim, a ripoff of Pacific Rim, Triassic Park, Triassic World, Titanic 2. Oh, what's the horrible Hulk one? Oh, what is it called? I can't remember. There's a Cars parody called Cargo, and it's a musical, and it's animated, and it's horrible. Those are probably my personal favorite really bad movies. But if we're talking about ones that I've made, like short films and things, I know what my friends would say is the worst one. I wouldn't agree with them. So this is my old channel on YouTube, where I used to make short films and vlogs all the time. My friends constantly tell me I should revive it. Maybe one day. But honestly, the worst thing I've made, I wouldn't say it's Superman 2. My Superman short film has 15,000 views. I'm still proud of that one to this day. The Superman sequel wasn't great. There's Vigilant. The First Order was fun because Force Awakens had just come out. We were all hyped that Star Wars was back and Star Wars was cool. Look how that turned out. Oh, Waterpoint, Summer's Journal. I might go with the Psychopath. Probably the Psychopath. The Psychopath, Delivery Man, or Paper Trek. One of these three. Yeah, probably one of those three. Ugh. What a throwback. What a throwback. We'll do a movie night of all of the short films I've worked on one day. No Hard Feelings is the worst. It's not great, but it's not the worst. Asylum must have been money laundering scheme for drugs and gun running. Maybe. I didn't mean for you to have to go into your own stuff. Oh no, you're good. Yeah, we'll have to do a movie night of all the short films I've worked on, and just like rank, like do a tier list night. That'd be a fun night. All right, let's look into these Teamat features. I got really sidetracked. So, we have Discorporation. When Tiamat drops to 0 health points, her body is destroyed, but her essence travels back to her domain in the 9 hells, and she is unable to take physical form for a time. I think that sounds fine. Nothing seems confusing to me. Moving on. Limited magic immunity. All spells cast against Tiamat, or in which she is in the area of effect, have their mana points doubled. She has advantage on saves against all other spells and magical effects. This one could potentially be wonky, but you really need to look at that one as like a rules as written thing. As long as your spell needs mana points to cast it, it's going to be doubled to cast it with her. That doesn't mean all spells though, because there's a lot of spells that don't use mana points. It's just the ones that do, they're going to cost an extra. Which at that point should make it a max of 4. Oh, wait, hold on. So with limited magic immunity, there is the factor of the mana point spend limit. But I mean, you wouldn't throw this at a low level party. So, okay, never mind. That one's fine. It's just a really powerful feature. Spellcaster. All of Tiamat's attacks act as mana point effects for the purpose of spell duels. Additionally, she can perform spell duels, but can't make opportunity attacks. Cool. Multiple heads. Tiamat can take 1 reaction per turn, rather than only 1 per round. That one doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because you can take more than 1 off your turn in DC20. Tiamat has advantage on saves against being knocked unconscious. If she fails a save against an effect that would stun a creature, 1 of her unspent legendary action points is spent. I think the solution for this is we just take out that first part. I think that's what we have to do. Okay. And then regeneration. Tiamat regains 8 health points at the start of her turn. That's fine. Oh yeah, and she needs her saves. So that would be your combat mastery plus that. So let's give her an agility save. So that would be 5. And then let's give her an intelligence save. So that'd be what, 13? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 13. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, there we go. Did you see there was going to be a DC20 OneShot this Friday with a few creators? Claudio, Tiantori, Roll With Us DM on the Roll With Us DM channel. I did see that. I actually heard about it through Claudio's face reveal video, which was really cool, by the way. I won't be able to watch it live, unfortunately. Actually, what time does that start? If it starts later in the day, no wait, I still won't be able to. I'll have to watch the VOD of it. But yeah, I'm very excited. Any chance to watch people actually play the game? Yes, please. Yeah, it's hard to know at high levels how much mana a caster will have. Yeah. And if magic items can affect that logic. Yeah. Which if you're a patron member, at a high enough tier, like we have access to magic item crafting rules, which those were really insightful for the direction that they're thinking of going with magic items. And I think I like how it works more than I do D&D. I need to see, but the monster or we're still playing around with it at my table. We're playing around with it, seeing how busted it is. It hasn't been super busted yet. Oh man. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Oh man, I'm dying. Oh, quick, we gotta talk about movies again. Shoot. I saw Joker 2. It's overhated, but it's not great. That's my review. It's way overhated, but it's not great. It's just alright. What if Tiamat could only be affected by spells if the person spends their mana limit on the spell? Oh, that's an interesting take on it. You have to spend your mana spend limit on the spell? Well, here, let's pull up the DC20 rulebook. Because if I'm not mistaken, it's half your level rounded up. Let's see. Mana spend limit, page 56. You can spend a maximum number of mana points equal to your combat mastery at one time. This limitation includes mana spent on spell enhancements and other features that require MP. This is called your mana spend limit. Okay, so at level so currently we're building Teamat to be level 10 because I don't have the stats on me to go past that, right? Which the stats I'm going based off of are based off of Claudio's monster stat recommendations, which I think are pretty in line with the monster design from Giotto and Mortal from the DC20 community, just to clarify. And that would mean at level 10, assuming it's a level 10 party going against Tiamat, who is a level 10 creature that we're building, that would be 5 mana points being spent just to cast a spell on her. I think I'm going to stick with it being doubled because most spells are 1 mana point or 2 mana points. I don't think they're ever really going to go past that. Really, the additional cost is going to be the amount of action points in addition to the mana points. But I don't know. We don't know much about the higher levels. But I like that idea, though. I like that idea. And there is the matter of team casting. Yes, yeah. Can't stay more than 1 minute, but just wanted to say keep up the good work. Thank you, Dragon Horde GM. Thank you for that. Hope you have a great rest of your day, evening, afternoon, morning, good night, wherever you are. Thank you for that. That made my day. Okay, so let's go back to the Tiamat stat block from 5th edition. There's one that we didn't do. We didn't add innate spellcasting because it didn't really make sense. And then legendary resistance. If Tiamat fails a saving throw, she can choose to succeed instead. Legendary resistance, we're just going to turn into Apex legend points. So she can spend those if she wants to. So let's go to our attacks. So we have multi-attack. We're going to ignore that because this is DC20, and in DC20, that's kind of irrelevant, you know? You don't need to say multi-attack because you can just do multi-attacks. So we have a claw, which is a weapon attack. And yeah, can we combine claw with anything? No. All right, so here we go. We need to get our attack, which I need to pull up those stats real quick. So we got sheets, DC20 stat block stuff. Okay, here we go. Monster stats. So at level 10, we have her as a boss. Her check needs to be plus 10, and she's doing 7 damage. That's incredible. So this attack is going to be plus 10. Her speed is 5. Actually, is it 5? Her speed is 60 feet. Her speed is 12. Oh. Oh, the max is 11. Value must be less than or equal to 20. Oh, okay, there it is. I was like, huh? Each head would bite. Multi-attack to attack multiple targets with 1 attack per head sort of thing. So the per head thing in her stat block comes with her legendary actions. So each of those heads come from there. So these are going to be her general attacks, and then each head has a special attack that it does that costs the special points that you need to spend. 4 attacks, but can use any of the heads or claw/tail. That's an interesting take. All right. Oh yeah, the save DC. Save DC is 10 plus prime plus combat mastery, right? So that'd be 15 plus prime, which would be 5. So that's what, 20? Am I understanding that right? I think so. 10 plus combat mastery plus prime. Yeah, prime would be 5 at that point. So, and combat mastery is 5. Yes, okay, so that's a 20. Woo! Again, she is the dragon god. You know what I'm saying? All right. 1 action point. Claw. And then the description. Oh, we can add a condition to it. Ooh. That's cool. Okay, so how do we... So when we type this in, what is this going to look like? What kind of damage is it? Is it slash? Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait. Oops. Never mind. 7 slashing damage. 7 slashing damage. Okay. And is that what that one is? I forget. Is that how it's supposed to be formatted? Because I'd like it to look as close as possible. I'm going to scroll down to the Crassus. Oh, right. We got to type the range of it. So melee. Melee, X spaces, and then slashing. Is that the same with the other ones? Not a spellcaster. Dagger, melee attack. Yeah, let's say that. Let's say melee, 2 spaces, 7 slashing damage. I think that's about right. Scroll down to the Crassus from the free one-shot. Melee, 2 spaces, 2 slashing. Okay. I'm fine with that. Next up, we're going to the tail, which is piercing damage. Ouch. Tail. And then what do they count it as? It's a melee weapon attack. It's a reach of 25 feet. Oh, wait, it actually says reach of 15 spaces. Oh, so that should actually be 3 spaces. And then what was it for the other one? It was 25 feet, so 5 spaces. Golly. Melee, 5 spaces. 7 piercing damage. Woo! Woo! Golly! Golly! Take a drink, my boy. I'd think the tail would be bludgeoning. Oh. Yeah, hold on. Why is it? Okay. Melee weapon attack. Piercing damage. Why wouldn't it be bludgeoning? Teamat art. Is there something I don't know about with her tail? Oh. It's got that like freaking sword at the end of it. That's just her wings, I think. You see her tail. Okay, that's why. Because it's got that, like, pointy tail. That's why. Okay, that makes sense. I think that's why it's not bludgeoning. Okay, okay. Okay. Damn, that's a long tail. Yeah. Maybe they assume that the tail has spikes on it. It for sure does. Yeah, the end of that tail looks like a scorpion's. What do you call it? A stinger? I don't think stinger is the right term. All right, so we have a claw, we have a tail. I believe next is frightening presence, frightful presence. Oops, not a feature. Frightful presence, which will probably up the action point cost of this one. All right, let's see here. All right. Each creature of Tiamat's choice that is within 240 feet of Tiamat. I ain't doing that math. Hold on. How many spaces is that? 240. Hold on. 240 divided by 5. 48 spaces. Jeez. Let's go ahead and fix that. That is within 48 spaces. Each creature of Tiamat's choice that is within 48 spaces of Tiamat and aware of her must succeed on a DC 26 Wisdom saving throw or become frightened for 1 minute. A creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. If a creature's saving throw is successful or the effect ends for it, the creature is immune to Tiamat's frightful presence for the next 24 hours. Okay, so let's say I leave it like that, right? But then we add the condition. Let's say charmed. Creature is charmed. Okay, now there's a condition action. Bing, bam, boom. Let me scroll down for y'all. Bing, bang, boom. Yeah. All right, let's click off of it to see what's up. Ah, I see. I see how this is formatted. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Yes. And then let's break this down. So each creature of Tiamat's choice that is within 48 spaces of Tiamat and aware of her must succeed on DC 26 Wisdom saving throw or become frightened for 1 minute. All right, so already I mean, she's not casting a spell, because every every spell requires a spell roll of some kind, like a D20 roll. This isn't a spell. This is just her presence, right? Okay, so a DC 26. So the save DC is here. Okay, must succeed on a... Does the Crassus in the one-shot? Okay, so we would just use her DC. Must succeed on a DC 20, and in the one-shot, is it formatted next to each other? Okay, no. Must succeed on a DC 20 mystical save. That's what we'll say. So we'll say mystical save, or become frightened for 1 minute. And then let's check out the frightened condition. Frightened. You must spend your turns trying to move as far away as you can from the source of the effect as possible. The only action you can take is the move action to try to run away, or the dodge action if you're prevented from moving or there's nowhere farther to move. You're also considered rattled. You can't move closer to the source, and intimidated. Disadvantage on all checks while it's within your line of sight. Woo! Let's see what you guys have to say real quick. I never looked at the art. Really? I mean, I guess I didn't. I knew of the art. I knew what she looked like. I just never studied it. So I guess, yeah, charmed or frightened. Definitely frightened. What software is this that you're using to create this stat block? And good night, Jakin. Good night, Louise. This is a website that's currently in development by one of the members of the DC20 community called Manic. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the site name yet or not. So for now, I'm going to caution on not. But I have access to this because I'm one of the testers for the site, which is really cool. It's really awesome. It's been really great for home games. And more features keep getting added. We can build character, like NPCs in here, monsters. Now the feature was just added to be able to see other people's monsters, which is cool. There's a like, or like a little heart button for monsters, so you can like get some likes on your monster. You can save your own version of someone else's monster and update it to be your own thing. It's really incredible. So Manic is the person in the DC20 community making this. You can find them in the DC20 Discord server. And I don't know if they've launched one yet, but they do intend to start a Patreon to help. I don't know what the cats just did. They do intend to start a Patreon so that you can directly fund them and kind of help with some of the back end server costs of things. Which whenever that Patreon launches, I know I'm pledging to it because this site's incredible. Like, I wish D&D had a thing as easy as this. They don't. There's resources to make monsters, but nothing like this. Like, this is awesome. This is so cool. Scary stuff, and it's beautiful. Yeah. Hey, Bandit, how you doing? All right. So each creature of Tiamat's choice that is within 48 spaces of Tiamat and aware of her must succeed on a DC 20 mystical save or become frightened for 1 minute. A creature can repeat the save. Yeah, so a creature can repeat the save at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. If a creature's save, when you change these to save, not saving throw. If a creature's save is successful or the effect ends for it, the creature is immune to Tiamat's frightful presence for the next 24 hours. All right, Tiamat's frightful presence needs to be a high cost. I'm thinking, how do we feel about 3 action points for her to be able to do this? Definitely not 1. I think 2 is debatable. And then 3... I think 3 is just right. Definitely not 4. I think 3 is just right. That ability could be a party ender. Absolutely it could be. Yeah. And in D&D, right, it's just like you only have your 1 action. That's just what she does. She just does it. But in DC20, this is a multiple thing, right? 2 action points is okay. You think so? You think that's not like too easy to do? I'm not opposed to it, but I definitely need to be sold on it. My gut instinct is saying 3 because of how powerful this is, and because the reach of it is insane, right? 48 spaces. I mean, even in the D&D stat block, it's 240 spaces? Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But yeah, those are the only actions that we have to add. So the next things that we would be adding is attack enhancements, which I think would be fun. Plus, it's any creature of her choice, so she'd probably choose everyone attacking. Yeah, I think so. I think the way okay, so if I'm running Tiamat, I'm not just putting her in a tiny cramped space, right? Because she's basically a kaiju, right? This is probably an encounter that happens either in the Nine Hells or it's like a city. There's a bunch of rooftops, there's a bunch of streets. So if I'm playing Tiamat, I would be ruling that like the thing says, each creature of Tiamat's choice that is within and aware of her. I would probably rule it that it's the ones that she can see. But again, the stat block doesn't necessarily say that. Each creature of Tiamat's choice that is within 48 spaces of Tiamat and aware of her. That's the key difference. It's not a she has to see them. It is literally she's that scary. I don't know. It's not something it will be recasting, though. 3 might be correct. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Imagine if it was an aura. Dude. That aura would be insane. Just wherever Tiamat moves, there's this 48 space aura of just, hey, you failed your save. You now just have disadvantage. Insane. That's so cool, though. I'm kind of tempted. I don't think I'm going to, but low-key, I'm tempted. How would you not be aware of her? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I mean, it'd be like if I'm in Dallas, right? It'd be like if I'm there, and then Godzilla shows up. Chances are I'm probably not going to be like, everything is fine. I'm going to be scared. I'm going to piss my pants. I'm going to do it. I'll do it. Don't ever let me design a dragon god. You're suspended. You're not designing dragon gods. Although you have cool ideas for dragon gods. Why not? Do it. Do it. Don't listen to me. All right. So here's the unfortunate part with the site, right? This is still a site that's very much in development. So things are being added, things are being updated, and obviously it takes time. And again, this is Manic. Manic is doing this. because they love the game and they're just that passionate about it. This is a creature that needs apex actions, right? Here, let me shift it up for you guys. Apex features are coming soon. We don't have those yet. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm probably going to add them in reactions, or maybe just the actions. We're going to add them because I want to see them through. But as soon as Apex features get added to this website, they're immediately being shifted down there. Like, immediately. There we go. Aura makes sense. Tiamat does not have to be actively scary. She passively scares the living shit out of everyone around her. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. Are there items that prevent frighten? I don't know off the top of my head, but I as a DM would likely give players something to do that. Is there ones that prevent frighten? Of the magic items we got, I don't recall any that can do that. But I could easily see something helping with that. I could easily see that. Alright. Let's do attack enhancements. Which I need to actually shift this so we can see it. Boom. Attack enhancements. Let's see what we got. Let's go to the Google Sheets thing. Let's go to some monster maneuvers. Oh yeah, now you can't see it over here. Scoop. There you go. All right. So attack enhancements. We have grant itself advantage, which is crazy. Plus one space attack range, or +5 for ranged. That's crazy. +1 damage, possibly of another type. For save effects, we have knockback. Ooh, I could see knockback being added. Slowed 1. Every 1 space you move costs an extra 1 space of movement. Exposed, hinder, impaired, dazed, grappled, bleeding, burning. Burning, honestly. Actually, we'll probably add that with one of the heads. Vicious. It can give the target disadvantage on a save it forces it to make. Honestly, vicious might be a move. And then powerful 2 action point effects. We have prone, poisoned, restrained, exhausted, and weakened. I would say vicious. I'm not gonna lie. Vicious kind of feels like it fits thematically. And then bleeding would be kind of crazy. I'm gonna start with vicious. So let's see. Boom. Let's add an attack enhancement. Call this vicious. So let's say Tiamat. Tiamat can give the target disadvantage on a save it forces it to make. And we save. Tiamat can give the target disadvantage on a save she forces it to make. That one's kind of nasty, not gonna lie. That one's kind of mean. Alcohol gives you courage. Liquid courage, maybe, yeah. How you doing, Lunar Pierce? It's good to see you. Definitely knockback? You think so? I'm not opposed to it. Yeah, let's do knockback. I was thinking it earlier. I think you're right. Knockback. Pushed 1 space +1 for every 5 it fails its save by. Target is pushed 1 space +1 for every 5 it fails its save by. You know what? She's powerful. I'm kind of okay if it's just those. I'm not opposed to a 3rd enhancement, but I'm genuinely under the impression of like, I think I'm cool with just the 2 attack enhancements. Wait, hold on. But knockback. Target is pushed +1 space for every 5 it fails its save by. Knockback means that one of our things needs to... If you get hit by a giant dragon leg, you're flying. Kaiju hits you, you're thrown out the park. That's fair. I'm doing good. Starting a DC20 campaign this Sunday. Awesome. Congrats. Are we allowed to know any details about the campaign? If not, that's okay. But if you are able to share any, I would love to hear them. Super excited for you. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to play with my players. Our next game isn't until... Let's see, when do we have it scheduled? October 25th. Ugh. That's a minute. That's a minute from now. All right. Knockback. I'm kind of iffy on knockback now. Target is pushed +1 space for +1 for every 5 it fails its save by. But so far we don't have anything that makes it take a save other than Frightful Presence. Do we have an example of knockback in any of the free stuff? We have Grapple. Searing Flame. Grapple. Bleed. Deflect. Reactive Strike. Alright, and then everything else... Here, let me look at another thing. I technically don't think I'm allowed to show it on stream, so I'm not going to, but this is the Monster Starter Pack. Do any of the other monsters have that? We have Prone. Physical save, failure, it's knocked prone. Oh, we could totally phrase it like that then. Okay. Okay. Maybe that's how we do it. Okay, so let's try that then. Let's try that. So physical save, and then gotta hide it one more time so I make sure I'm not ruining this. Failure, it's knocked prone. Okay, so physical save, failure, target is pushed +1 space, +1 for every 5 it fails its save by. Knockback now makes sense for it. There we go. I don't have any details yet. Winging it, wish me luck. Hey, sometimes that's the best way. Sometimes that's the best way. If that's how your GM style is, like you get better sessions for everyone when you're winging it, 100%. Make her base knockback 3 spaces. Oh. Three or 2? I think 3 is okay. I mean, this is the Dragon Queen that we're talking about. Either 3 spaces or 2 spaces. What do we think? Attach it to one of the other attacks, like on a successful hit. Sorry. Like on a successful hit of the tail or claw, the target has to make a physical save or get shoved away. I could see that. But we also already just figured it out. Or not figured it out, we just solved the thing I was wondering about. But while we're thinking about that, let's get some reactions. Features, defense, other ideas. Actually, do we have reaction? Save effects, powerful too. What kind of reactions do we want to put into Tiamat? Let's see. Does it have anything in the stat thing about reactions? We have monster maneuvers, passive effects, quick features, action points, monster staminas, monster difficulties, stat ranges, encounter health, tally marks, use dice, legendary action points, boss points. Not much. Actually, I'm not really seeing... there's one reaction listed. Actually, you know what? Let's refer back to the 5e one. As attack enhancement of must be applied to the other attacks. As attack enhancement, it must be applied to the other attacks. Yeah, that's true. So we just did that. There's the legendary resistance for the reaction, but there's only a few of those. Teamat is the dragon goddess of evil. She sure is. So Tiamat can take 5 legendary actions, choosing from the options below. Only one legendary action option can be used at a time, and only at the end of another creature's turn. Tiamat regains spent legendary actions at the start of her turn. Tiamat's legendary action options are associated with her 5 dragon heads, a bite and a breath weapon for each. Once Tiamat chooses a legendary action option for one of her heads, she can't choose another one associated with that head until the start of her next turn. Okay. So again, we don't have the access to the Apex features yet. It says coming soon, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these under reaction for now. Because technically, that's kind of what they are, right? But for my DC20 people, we know these are going to be Apex features, or technically Apex actions. We just don't have that category yet. Just so we're getting that out of the way. Reactions. Let's make this 0 for now. And this is just to clarify the way that her reactions work. Apex actions. Or Apex action points. How is it phrased in the Crassus? Or legendary action points. That's what it's called. So we're calling these legendary action points. The Crassus can spend any number of legendary action points to take an action at the end of a PC's turn. These happen at the start of each round of combat, always going in for more. Alright. Boop. Command C. Boom. Command V. So, Tiamat can spend any number of legendary AP Wait, but where's the part about it being equal? Legendary action points, number of PCs. Number of PCs. Here we go. Oh, why did it capitalize that? Oh, because it's a... Okay. Teamat can spend... No. That didn't make sense, does it? Teamat can spend any number of legendary action points to take an action at the end of any PC's turn. Let's actually... There's a thing called boss points. Because she's labeled as a boss. These are similar to the concept of legendary resistance. They are points that legendary monsters can have that lets them do unique things, but only a limited number of times. Creatures can have any number of boss points, usually between 1 to 3, and can spend them on some of the ideas listed below. Okay, so that's actually different then. So legendary action points. Legendary action points work similar to how you've used them in other systems, and they actually fit into DC20 very smoothly. You can spend legendary action points in between the PC's turns. These let the monsters act more often and in more dynamic ways. You can't spend legendary action points during your turn in the initiative order. You can give a monster any number of these, usually no more than the number of PCs. They recharge at the beginning of each round of combat. Oh! Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Any more legendary action points. So let's say Tiamat has a... Actually... Tiamat has... Let's make it as close to the 5th edition one as possible. Could be breathing from all 5 heads at the same... Yes, Louise, yes. Yes, that's what we're going to do for the boss point. Holy crap. Yes. Yes. Holy crap. Breathing from all 5 heads at the same time. Holy crap. Yes. Okay. Sorry. We're going to get this, and then we're going to do that for the boss points. Holy crap. Teamat has 5 legendary action points. She can spend any number of legendary AP to take an action at the end of any PC's turn. Just so we have that established. Obviously, when the Apex features is a category, we'll establish that and then add all the features. All right, let's do this. So the first one is bite. All right, let's see what it says for the bite in Tiamat. It has a reach of 20 feet, so 4 spaces. Oh, shoot. Okay, so it does... It'd be 4 spaces. It does 32 slashing damage plus 14 acid damage, lightning damage, poison damage, fire damage, or cold damage. Okay, so you pick the damage. Okay, I thought it was like each type of... I was like, holy crap. Okay, so bite. It is melee, 4 spaces, 7... It said... I'm sorry, did it say slashing and not piercing? 7 slashing. No, we're changing that to piercing. That doesn't really make sense at all. That looks like I spelled it wrong. Melee, 4 spaces, 7 piercing damage. And then how... We've seen it formatted in other ones. How did it happen? Claw, tongue, consume, while consumed, spray acid. How is it when you deal damage in another thing? Does anyone else do it? Damage. Daggers. Creature. It's really like an enhancement kind of thing. Deflect. Well, are we piercing damage? I mean, yeah, it'd be piercing damage. All right, how do we format this for DC20? How do we do this? Oh, wait, let's catch up on some things. I love that. That's dope. Do PCs get a save? Do PCs get a save? PCs get a save from the bites or the 5-head thing? If it's a 5-head thing, 100% probably they're gonna get a save. Absolutely. In my head, I see that as a stereotypical cylinder of lights from every sci-fi movie. That's fair. Whoops, she totally does that breathing with all 5 heads on the 80s animation. And I think she has wings too. She does have wings. All right, how do we format it so that it's another, is this in the monster thing I can't show? Let's see. Because anytime, all right, there's one that says slashing or piercing, but that's from a bite or claw attack. I don't see any that say damage plus another kind of damage. All the things where it's like you add on another type of damage, it's like an attack enhancement. But if you're biting with one of the heads, it might just be best to format it like the way it is in Tiamat for now. Oh, 5-head thing for the save question. Absolutely. I would not just have that be like, that's the attack. That would definitely be like a physical save kind of thing. All right, so let's make it so that it's 7 piercing damage. Let's say something like, for every 5, it goes over their physical, for every 5, it goes over their physical defense. The additional damage, how do I phrase this? I'm basically trying to say that for every 5 you go over the target's physical defense, that extra damage is the damage associated with the head. How would I phrase that? For every 5 it goes over their physical defense, the additional damage is then changed to the damage type of the head that bit the target. That feels clunky, but if anyone has a better way of phrasing that, let me know. I would love to hear you out on it. So melee, 4 spaces, 7 piercing damage. Plus, and then so 7 piercing damage. For every 5 it goes over their physical defense, the additional damage is then changed to the damage type of the head that bit the target. Extra damage is elemental. It used to be elemental damage. Oh, wait, I think we actually ran into a problem with calling things elemental damage with her stat block. Because I think there's a type that isn't... Oops. I think there's a type that isn't... Yeah, includes cold, corrosion, fire, lightning, or... Actually, that's all of them. Cold, whitehead, corrosion, I think was green? No, black. That's acid. Fire, red, lightning, blue, poison, green. Oh, okay, yeah, elemental damage. That's a much easier, that's a less clunky way to phrase it. Extra damage is elemental. Corrosive is an elemental. What? Corrosion's elemental and 0.8. But could be in this case, I guess. Yeah, corrosion is it's under the elemental damage. It includes cold, corrosion, fire, lightning, and poison. Which corrosion is their acid damage in DC20. Unless that changed for the 0.9. Ooh. 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 So, okay, so we're saying extra damage is... Additional damage is elemental. Additional damage is considered elemental, but that implies you take all of the kinds. But if you're only being bit by one head, additional damage, extra damage is elemental damage associated with the attacking head. Okay, I like that. Additional damage is the elemental damage associated with the attacking head. I like that. All right, so I like that. Yes. Your what? The gingerbread house? Yeah, I think he has all of them. Alright, so we have our bite. Let's go ahead and add one of the heads. So next is the black dragon head. Acid breath costs 2 actions. Okay. I'm so happy that we're adding these. So this is going to be 2 actions. Black dragon head. Acid. Wait, but that's just going to format it like, yeah. Let's do it like that. Acid. And then what's our description? I'm just going to copy paste it, and then we're going to change things as we see fit. So we got this. Boom. Tiamat exhales acid in a 120-foot line that is 10 feet wide. Each creature in that line must make a DC27 Dex saving throw, taking 67 acid damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. Tiamat exhales acid in a 120-foot. 120 divided by 5 is not 60. 30? 24. I'm so stupid. In a 24 space. Teamat exhales acid in a 24 space line that is 2 feet wide. So 2 spaces. 2 spaces wide. Each creature in that line must succeed a DC 20, because that's her stat, Must succeed a DC20 physical saving throw. Agility saving throw. But then again, physical. I like just saying physical for most things. Physical save. Must make a DC20 physical save. Must succeed a DC20 physical save. Taking 67 damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. Okay, so we would say DC20 on a fail. 67 damage. Or half as much on a successful one. Wait, hold on. Wait, timeout. In DC20... Hold on, wait. In DC20, I don't think there's a save. Monsters don't make players do saves for damage. I don't think that's how that works. I think that's one of the main design philosophies that they talked about. What about breath weapons work for Dragonborn? Oh, good call. Let's check that out. Yeah. Dragonborn page. Did I just say Dragonborn? My bad. Dragonborn breath weapon. You gain a breath weapon based on your draconic origin. Spend 2 action points. Alternatively, you can spend to choose to make an attack against a single target within 6 spaces, increasing the damage by 1. You can use this ability once between long rests. When you roll for initiative or meet some other unique criteria at the GM's discretion, this ability recharges. Elemental breath weapon. Make a spell check against every target. Okay, yeah. This is way better. Thank you. That's a great call. Yeah. Spell check against every target's physical defense within the area. On a hit, the target takes 2 draconic damage. Sorry, what? 2 draconic damage? What? Hold on. Draconic damage. Draconic. Or half of your draconic damage type. Oh, okay. It's saying, okay, I see. I was like, draconic damage is not a thing in the damage category. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Spell check. It's the elemental damage. Yeah. Okay, so we have that. So let's do gain a breath weapon, 2 action points. All right, so we would say Teamat exhales acid in a 24 space line that is 2 spaces wide. And then we would basically just copy and paste the elemental breath weapon and change it so it's appropriate, right? Yeah. So let's Control C and then Control V. Let's actually start it right here, yeah? If we need to copy and paste that over again, we'll do it. Make a spell check against every target's physical defense within the area. On a hit, the target takes 2 draconic damage, but in this case, it would be considered corrosion. Corrosion. Did I spell corrosion right? Elemental damage. Okay. I'm not tripping. It takes 2 corrosion damage. Before you make your spell check, you can spend 1 stamina point to increase the damage by 1, or no. So we would take that away, and it would be 7 corrosion damage. Because that's the damage that we deal at this level. Teamat exhales acid in a 24-space line that is 2 spaces wide. Make a spell check against every target's physical defense within the area. On a hit, the target takes 7 corrosion damage. Cool. Dragon drool equals corrosive. Oh, that's a cool flavor text. In case of Dragonborn, it can be umbral. Phrasing it like the Dragonborn can save some space on the stat block, make it generic for all the heads. Yeah? Yeah, that absolutely saves a lot of space on the stat block. Good call on the Dragonborn. Thank you for that. All right, so we're going to go on to the next head, which is Blue Dragon Head. So Lightning Breath. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. That's what we need to say. Acid Breath. Breathe. Breath. Breath. Yeah, Blue Dragon Head. Oops. Blue Dragon Head. Lightning Breath. Alright, and then the flavor text. Teamat exhales lightning in the same thing. Okay. So the same thing. Except it's literally just... Alright, so we're going to copy and paste and just change things around. So the 24 space line, that is 2 spaces wide. So it is the same line, right? 120 foot, 10 wide, 120 foot, 10 wide. Okay. Teamat exhales lightning. In a 24 space line that is 2 spaces wide, make a spell check against every target's physical defense in the area. On a hit, the target takes 7 lightning damage. Okay. Are all of the heads the same? Because if that's the case... Black, blue, green. Exhales. Okay, so they're not all the same. Okay. So green dragon head is poison breath. Green dragon head. Poison breath. Alright, so this one is different. I was about to say, are they all the exact same? Because that wouldn't make sense. So boom. Boom. Teamat exhales poisonous gas in a 90-foot cone. I know 90 divided by 5, not from a calculator. It's 18. I'm just that smart. In a 90 space. Okay. Nope. I was just testing you. 18 space cone. In an 18 space cone. Teamat exhales poison gas and alright, so and then it's literally we just copy paste. Boom, boom. Make a spell check against every target's physical defense within the area. On a hit, the target takes 7 poison damage. Boom. Alright, what's next? The red dragon head. Exhales fire in a 90-foot cone. Alright, so this one is the same. Command C. Boom, boom. Red dragon head. Fire breath. Command V. Exhales poisonous gas. This time it is fire. In an 18 space. guess it's A. Teamat exhales fire in an 18 space cone. Make a spell check against every target physical there. Takes 7 fire damage. Cool. So next up is we have black, blue, green, red, white. Teamat exhales icy 90-foot cone. So it's literally the same thing. So white, dragon head, ice breath. How do they phrase it? Just literally ice? Exhales an icy blast. Okay. Exhales an icy blast in a 18 space cone. Make a spell check against every target. Target takes 7 cold damage. Cold damage. Which that's one of the things that she's resistant to. Yeah. Yes. That went by way faster than I thought that was going to. That was, yeah. Create 1 breath weapon enchantment that adds a save against a condition. Burning for fire, slow for ice, exposed for corrosion. Ooh. Dude, that... I like that idea. So, you're saying with the breath weapon, add a save against a condition. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Anything on that one. That's cool. Yo, Manic's in the chat. Yo, Manic, what's up? Yo, I finally caught the stream before it ended. Keep up the awesome work. Guys, Manic is here. Manic, I don't know if you're like active on your YouTube channel or not with all this stuff, but if whatever the case, come here. Everyone go subscribe to Manic. Huge shout out to them. They are the one that made this website that we're using on this stream, putting so many hours of work and just passion into the site. It's been incredible. Every single update is genuinely an improvement, and it really makes being a dungeon or a game master for DC20 so much easier, especially because of the way that the site works with stat blocks, whether it's for an NPC or a monster. It's so great. Manic, if you're still here, have you launched a Patreon yet? Or if not, do you have a timeline of when you might do that so people can support you with this? Maybe. Woohoo, awesome. Enhancement. Oh yeah, enhancement. Oh yeah. No, yeah, I like that idea of the save condition. Burning, slow, yeah. I think we can definitely add that. So will we add that to our attack enhancements section? Because you can spend your legendary action points on... Ooh, okay, so hold on. If you're running Tiamat for battle then, right? And you only have 5 legendary action points that you can use until the start of your next turn. Let's say you spend 2. You spend 2 to use one of the breath weapons. Do you then use the other ones to enhance it to add the save? That's a good question. Oh, Manic says, I haven't launched one yet, but I'm thinking it'll go live with the beta. Oh, okay. So, the beta of the website, I'm assuming that's what you mean by the beta. Sweet. So yeah, whenever this website launches, you better believe we're going to be advertising up the wahoo for everyone to go and support Manic's Patreon, because this site and Manic's work is deserving of support. It's incredible. It's saving me hours of trying to prep and homebrew for DC20. We're getting monsters for DC20. We're getting official ones, but you know, they're just not exactly the priority at the moment, because obviously you need the rest of the game. So it's been super helpful. It really is a great tool. It's incredible. I genuinely love it. I'm genuinely obsessed with it. I wish Dungeons and Dragons had something similar. I know that there's homebrew things to build the monster stat blocks for 5th edition to make them look like a 5th edition stat block and everything. But none of them flow as well as this. This is genuinely great. This is great. And it just improves with every single update. Like, even working on it today is drastically different than the last time we worked on the Tiamat stat block. Like, it's been huge that now I can save drafts of monsters. Whereas last time, I couldn't save monsters yet. I couldn't save them with a profile or anything. I had to export the data, basically retype everything in before the stream tonight. Now I can just save it, and I can see other people's monsters and save versions of their monsters. It's so good. It's so good. Imagine WotC giving DMs useful tools in the modern digital age. Descrom, I'm not gonna lie to you. Speaking of WotC, the new DMG, I genuinely love what I'm seeing about it. I genuinely do. I've been watching a lot of the Dungeons and Dragons YouTubers, their reviews of the early copies that they got. It's genuinely a book I'm looking forward to owning now. Like, the books I am the most excited to own coming up now are the Dungeon Master's Guide for Dungeons and Dragons, Daggerheart, which I'm so excited for Daggerheart. I love it almost as much as I love DC20. And then DC20. I think it was at Gen Con when I played in the Daggerheart OneShot with Matt and Allison from the Pocket Dimension. I can't remember which one of them said it first, but they described the two system as but it was something like DC20. It was like DC20 is it feels like it's made by like genuinely, like it feels like it's made by a math teacher, and then Daggerheart feels like a game for theater kids by theater kids. And one of the many discussions that we had about it was DC20 is a really great system if you're not wanting to play Dungeons and Dragons. You're wanting like a little bit more out of your game, but you're not really wanting the crunch of Pathfinder. DC20, perfect for that. Daggerheart is perfect for role-playing. Genuinely is a perfect game for role-playing. That game incorporates mechanics for narrative play in a way that I haven't really experienced with other RPG systems. It's like a beautiful blend of DC20, not DC. It's a beautiful blend of D&D, Fate Core. I'm blanking on the other name. Not kind of Blades in the Dark, not really. I love it. I love both systems. Daggerheart and DC20 are currently my favorite systems. If I could play both multiple times, I would. Not spiteful or anything. Another testament to the awesome community this game is attracting. Genuinely, that's one of the biggest strengths of DC20 outside of the game itself, I genuinely love that there's a rise of TTRPGs ever since the OGL stuff from last year. But I think a lot of some of these RPGs' biggest downfalls is community. There's not a great community with a lot of these things. The biggest example I can think of currently is Tales of the Valiant. I backed out of the Tales of the Valiant Kickstarter because it was becoming more and more D&D like than what I thought it was going to be. I haven't played it since. I've heard good things. I haven't played it since though. But from what I remember and having read the new 2024 D&D rules, it was basically the 2024 D&D rules before that came out. But Tales of the Valiant, I've heard, is a really awesome game, but there's not really community with it. There's one creator I can think of that is really cool about making content for Tales of the Valiant. I think they're called RPG Familiar, I think. And another cool thing that Tales of the Valiant is doing is they have a creator program basically similar to Pathfinder, where my understanding of it is as long as you're making content about that game, if you want a copy of a book that's being made, they'll send you that book. So they have a really cool creative program like Pathfinder does. And then on Daggerheart's end, I think it's going to be super successful. And even though it doesn't really have a core thing like a community like DC20's, it has Critical Role and the Critical Role community. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily need creators, right? And I'm not saying DC20 needs creators either, but I think the fact that there are so many different kinds of creators, whether they make videos or they make streams or community resources like Manic, that's really adding to the DC20 experience and the genuine shot it has at taking a little bit of the player share out of D&D. So yeah, I genuinely think it's going to be obviously D&D number 1. Pathfinder will be number 2 for a little bit. Probably will be for a while. But then I genuinely think it's DC20 and Daggerheart. Those are going to be like the top 4 that are commonly talked about, right? Those are my thoughts, at least. I'd love to use it. I'm organizing a DC20 mega campaign with me and 5 other students DMing an interconnected campaign adapting Ryoko's Kaijus for 24th level and 4 characters. Yo, that sounds cool. And speaking of Ryoko's Guide, Will, D&D Shorts, loves DC20. Loves DC20. He would probably love the shit out of that idea. Starting with novice characters 2 weeks from now. Oh, with the novice rules. Hey, let me know how that goes. That magazine issue about the level 0 characters and everything, it wasn't like an idea I was necessarily excited about, but it wasn't one I disliked either. Like, I don't know when I would use it, but let me know how it goes. Let me know how it plays. If you think it's a good starting point, let me know. I feel like it's an extra great way to get people into DC20. Start them off with the novice level and then branch them out. Like, use the novice play to introduce the core mechanics. And then level 1 and level 2, use that to introduce the classes and things like that. I saw good things about the DM guide too, like how they have pages for tracking things. Yeah. But why not have a DM type profile in D&D Beyond? And those are all digitized and can be connected. I think that'd be cool. Especially because some of those tracking guides are meant for the players. I'm curious to see if they're going to be built into the character sheets or not. I know they're going to be online for DMs to download, But yeah, a DM profile would be super helpful. Daggerheart gets inspiration from Powered by the... that's what it was. Powered by the Apocalypse. Yeah. Which I played a game of Powered by the Apocalypse, what, like a year ago? Year and a half? Something like that. It was a system I was super excited to try out. And reading the rules, it felt great. And then I played my first system. I played 2 sessions. Did not have fun with it. I did not like it. I hate saying the ick, but I kind of got a little bit of an ick from it. Like I was like, ugh. I'm not having fun with this. I used a novice type mechanism for my first time DMing 5e. So we all had a chance to ease into that campaign. Okay, I like that. I genuinely like that. Well, guys, as far as Tiamat goes, this is basically it. I gotta shrink this window so you can actually see the top. But this is basically it. We have our reactions, which are technically the Apex actions, which go under Apex features. We have our attack enhancements, we have our actions, we have our features. The only thing left to add is really the boss points, right? But I know I think I'm gonna add the boss points when the Apex features thing opens up. And then probably when we have an idea of dragons in DC20. Probably. I feel DC20 level 1 characters are quite complex. Novice character solves this problem for onboarding players to new RPGs. That's very fair. That's very fair. But as for the stat block, I'm happy with it. That's pretty much the 1-for-1 stat block that we were trying to make for DC20 from 5th edition Tiamat. So that's basically it. So next time we visit Tiamat in the future is going to be when there's some updates. One to this website, and 2 to when we get an idea of what dragons are like in DC20, right? And then when we revisit Tiamat, we're probably going to revisit Strahd as well, because we had a blast making the Strahd stat block, and that was, you know, supposed to be for the most part, a 1-to-1 Strahd, and I really like the idea of some of the ideas that we were coming up with on stream for how to make Strahd a more interesting monster to run. Which is really exciting. Is really, really exciting. But yeah, that's Tiamat. And like always, these stat blocks are going to, like we'd make on all of our monster streams, they're going to be posted in the Discord. So if you aren't already part of the Swordplay and Sorcery Discord server, !Discord in the chat. That'll get you a link to get invited over to the server. And you can see all of the stat blocks that we made on stream. And if you want to request a monster from 5th edition for us to convert into DC20, you can do so in the Discord server. Also, if you have monsters that you've made for DC20, 5th edition, Pathfinder, Starfinder, whatever, we have a section of the Discord server that's made just for that as well. If you like what we're doing with these streams, with the YouTube videos, and the upcoming DC20 actual play that we're working on, Patreon. We have one tier, it's $5 a month, and you get behind the scenes updates, soon character art, and really, really soon one-on-one interviews with the players of the new DC20 actual play. You also get to decide what we get to work on with the channel. So this week I've been talking with the patron members about which videos to move forward with, which projects to work on, and you get a secret access part of the Discord server. So you get a little secret section just for the patron members. Can you print as PDF from Mantic's site? I don't think so. Here, let me save the draft. And then, because when I export, I think it's just like the data. It's not the actual thing. So what I'll have to do is probably either A, take a screenshot, or if it's okay with Mantic, share the link into Discord, which can be done because it can be embedded. So possibly that. But I'll make it easy for everyone to get. But yeah, Louise, everyone else, thank you so much for watching. I genuinely appreciate all the love. Let me see real quick. Do we have our next monster lined up already? If we go to Monster Mash and we go to stream requests, the Intellect Devourer, we already did that. We already did Tiamat. You already did the Cultist, the Bugbear. It looks like the next one that we would do is a Hydra. Woo! Alright, so that's our next one. Our next one is going to be a Hydra. Oh, the print button in the top right. Oh, hold up. Actually, let's see this. Yeah. Check out the print button in the top right. Drag some of this down. Just enough. Okay, so close draft. I just saved it. Oh, do I have to publish it? Oh, that would make sense. Publish version 1. We're gonna click it. Hey! Ooh, that's a long stat block. Okay. Print. Large, medium, or small. Oh, okay. So large. Oh, I can't see the top of it. Medium? I might have to resize it. Then we have small. More options. You might have to save it first. I think there was an icon next to the gear. That feature is being refined, but yes, you can print PDF, web, PNG. Oh, save as PDF. Okay, so what I would need to do, because this is a big stat block, is go to small. More options. Letter. Is there a way? How is it 2 sheets of paper? Oh. Okay. So Mantic, since you're here, I'll go ahead and put this in the server as well, but I already know what I would like to do in the future, which I think you might already have. I can't remember if it's been brought up or not, but it's a long stat block, right? Like even on the stream, I have it like cut off. So it's whoop, long stat block, which is fine and everything. But now I am seeing, I'm running into the Strahd problem I had with Strahd stat block, where it had to fit on 2 pages. It would be cool if there was something in the future where it did the kind of like how the Crassus stat block is laid out. Like it can fit on the one page, but then some of it is just moved to the side. Specifically, like when it's moved by like a section, not just like if attack enhancements ended here at the bottom left, went to the top right, but instead like it starts like it does with reactions by like that kind of category. I wouldn't mind seeing something like that way down the pipeline. Obviously, if that was a thing, that's probably a way down the pipeline thing. Oh yeah, sorry, that bit is still buggy. I'm working on width adjustments as we speak. Oh, dude, I can't wait for when you get a Patreon so we can just support you already. Because Mantic's a freaking champ, guys. Oh my gosh. Anyways, yes, the stat block is going to be posted in the Discord. I will be playing with the size of it a tiny bit. It'll probably have to be 2 pages, but it will be there. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you haven't already, like the stream. When this becomes a VOD, maybe even comment on it. It kind of helps the algorithms a little bit. And if you're watching this and you're on the fence already and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Consider subscribing. Make my night. Hurt my feelings. Subscribe. That's how you put me down. Wink. But anyways, you all have been lovely. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Adios.